All right, let's go ahead and begin the demonstration and discussion of the office hours that will be associated inside of the math courses that I facilitate, as well as what's referred to as the MRC, or the Math Resource Center. So let's go ahead and begin our discussion with this. All math faculty are required to do his or her office hours inside of the Math Resource Center. This will be a separate class that you will go into to be able to get to the Math Resource Center. So before you actually go out to the Math Resource Center for the very first time, because there will be an assignment in week 1 that you will need to go out and complete, there are 2 things that you need to do as your pre-steps before going out to the Math Resource Center. The first of which is going to be enrolling into Mymathlab and MyStatLab. The second is completing something called the Software Secure Practice Test. Both of these components are going to ensure that you are successful inside of the class. So the first component is going to be the enroll in Mymathlab and MyStatLab that we're going to talk about. And then I'm going to backtrack to the Software Secure Practice Test. And I'll explain why this is essential that both of these are done as we present on. So I'm going to start out a demonstration. I'm going to show it in both the MA2000, which is the quantitative reasoning course, as well as MA3000, the business stat course on how to accomplish these tasks. So first thing I want to do is I want to come over to a quantitative reasoning course. You will notice 2 things, as I made mention, that has to be done as part of your LP01 Math Resource Center assignment. So the first thing you're going to want to do is ensure that you're enrolled in Mymathlab. So coming down here into the class portal, click on Mymathlab. You may need to click Mymathlab here at the top, and you're going to click on either homework and quizzes and tests. Your instructor, as part of the Math Resource Center that you're going to visit with in a live session, and we'll talk about that later on, is going to go verify that you've registered into Mymathlab. So you want to verify on your end that you can see the list of the homework assignments. If you cannot see the homework assignments, you have not registered into Mymathlab successfully. I have a separate video as part of my welcome message that talks about Mymathlab and MyStatLab on how to enroll successfully inside of the class. So that is the first component that you're going to want to go out and verify, that you can get into Mymathlab and that you've enrolled. If you have not done that as of yet, you need to accomplish that. Watch the other video that I presented, which goes through the underlying process of how to do that enrollment. So you have to be enrolled into Mymathlab. That's part 1 of the prerequisite. The second component, if you go underneath announcements, and I'm going to find Software Secure Practice Test, there will be an announcement inside your class that says Software Secure Practice Test. The purpose of the Software Secure Practice Test is to ensure you have the correct hardware and software, as well as the correct operating system to utilize the proctoring service. For quantitative reasoning in week 5 and 11, you have a midterm and a final exam that is proctored through this service. Week 11 in the business stat course is going to be utilizing this service as well. Both of these assessments are taken inside of D2L, but you have to use this RP Now Remote Proctor Now service to take either one of those assessments. For quantitative reasoning, again, is going to be the midterm and the final. For business stats, just simply the final, because there is no midterm in the business stat course. So you're not going to come to me and ask me for the password to get into this. The proctor inside this environment is going to be the one to go in and insert the password. You do not get a password from the instructor. So you have to go through this process first before you're going to be able to complete the corresponding assignment and to get the corresponding code that we're going to talk about later on. So you're going to follow the instructions. As first, you're going to need to go here, national.remoteproctor.com. You'll click on that link. It's going to open up this, and I want to reference the system requirements here. From utilizing RP now, you have to be on at least Windows 8 or Windows 10. Odds are 99% of everybody out there is on Windows 10 now. If you have a really old PC that's either got Windows 7 or Windows XP on it, it will not work. You have to have one of those operating systems. Minimum of 300 kilobytes per second. Most DSL cable modem is going to work perfectly fine. Mac OS is also supported. Again, accurate to your time zone, etc. You'll notice on this list, Chromebook is not supported. I know a lot of students have a Chromebook, and I get they're cheaper, but to take the midterm as well as the final, if depending on your class, either one or the other, you have to have either a Windows or a Mac operating system. You cannot do it on a Chromebook, unfortunately. You, the adult learner, are responsible for ensuring you have the correct hardware as well. You'll also notice if I come back, I also want to have any questions regarding the support page. Has some other items as well. Camera, you have to have a working camera, either getting the one through the bookstore that's listed being required, or on your laptop, if you have a working camera, that's fine. You also need to have a working microphone on that PC or laptop that you're using as well. The room that you're in needs to be in a quiet room. You can't have distractions going on, and there will be other things that you'll be prompted as part of that installation process. So it will prompt you to click this download software, and you would go through the steps. But again, just as a preface, it has to be a Windows or a Mac operating system. Chromebooks, iPads, your phone cannot be used to take RP now. It has to be either a Windows operating system or a Mac operating system. Chromebooks, unfortunately, are not supported out there. So do keep that in mind. You would complete the RP Now assessment that's out there. And again, following the instructions that, let me get back into the class here, that announcement. And again, the same announcement is going to be inside of the MA3000 course. It'll go through, tell you how to log in. If your name is John Doe, you're going to type in first name dot last name. If you have a numeric at national.edu, it'll walk you through, insert the password button, and you're selecting secure practice test underneath assignments and quizzes. So before that, inside your class, be it business stats or quantitative reasoning, if you go underneath assignments and quizzes, you're going to see the link that says software secure practice test. Before you start that enrollment or through that, you have to get to the point, and I'm going to show this a preview. This is where you're going to click start quiz. It will have the prompt of the password that's out there, and then you will do that. And again, the same instructions are listed there. So software secure practice test has to be completed. Enrollment into Mymathlab or MyStatLab has to be completed as well. And this is the same for business stats or quantitative reasoning. You'll see that announcement out there, and it'll give you the steps that you need to do to complete both of those items. Now, assuming you've got enrollment into the MyLab product and software secure practice test, this is how you complete that first homework assignment, that LP01 Math Resource Center. Underneath the list of your classes, there should be an entry either by day one or a couple days after class starts that says Math Resource Center. So you're going to click Math Resource Center. and this is what's going to come up. You're going to go underneath communication, office hours. Takes a second or two to load, and you will notice all of these different times that are available to meet with a live instructor. So, for example, on Monday, March the 2nd, when this video is created, I am on early in the morning from 5 to 6 a.m. Central Time. This will adjust based on your time zone that's out there. If you're Mountain Time, Pacific Time, Eastern Time, Central Time, that's out there. It'll list when a live instructor is out there for you to go in. There's times early in the morning, in the evening, throughout the day that'll be available, but this would be one of the times that you would need to go in and visit with the instructor. So typically you're going to click on one of those given links that are out there. It will open up the given session. So for example, you would go in and this would say host or join. You would click that button and it would open up. It will open up a Zoom session. For those that are familiar with FaceTime or Skype, it's an interactive session that you will see a screen out there that will open up. Once you do that and you go into the respective session, this is where you're going to go and ask the instructor for a code. So I would have, say, for example, when I do my sessions and you log in, you're going to see, if you're joining one of mine, you'll see this message, welcome to tutoring. So you'll be interacting with me or another instructor. It does not need to be me, but it can be any other math instructor that's out there. You'll go, hi, Mike, I'm here for my code. Well, the first two things I'm going to ask you for is whether you completed enrollment into Mymathlab. I'm going to have you demonstrate that, as well as completing the software secure practice test. So I will have you share your screen. You'll show me both of those completed. If it is the case that both are completed, you're going to get a code back. Let's say that the code is spring 2020 is awesome. So I would tell you, and this is not a valid code, by the way, but the instructor is going to give you a respective code. So spring 2020 is awesome. That code, once you, again, have completed software secure practice test, enrollment into Mymathlab or MyStatLab, that code that the instructor gives you would be inputted into this quiz. So I'm going to come back into one of the classes, and they're the exact same regardless whether it's business stats or quantitative reasoning. So I'm going to go into a business stats, for example. You'll notice underneath assignments and quizzes, you're going to have your first Math Resource Center assignment. I'm going to do a preview to show you what you need to do. Notice it says before starting the quiz, it's addressing what's listed there. Complete the software secure practice test. If you need help, technical support number that's listed there. Enroll into MyStatLab. At this point, you've already done both of those as we've talked about. You're going to click the Start Quiz. Once you click the Start Quiz, this box is going to open up. You're going to type in whatever that instructor told you. So I think I said earlier, spring 2020 is awesome. That would be what you would type in. So whatever that instructor gives you, you type that into the box, you click the Submit Quiz. That will be how you earn the 10 points for that assignment. Again, the purpose of this assignment for the Math Resource Center is to get rid of any technology issues associated with getting into Mymathlab, so you can start from day one inside the class, as well as ensuring you're able to do your midterm and or final exam inside your respective class. So again, you would click Submit Quiz, and you click Submit Quiz. The instructor, you'll get the message back, says your quiz has been submitted successfully. The instructor will go verify that that code that you got was correct, and will update the score accordingly. If you have any additional questions on Math Resource Center or that first assignment, don't hesitate to send me a private message. Again, any of those times that were inside the MRC or the Math Resource Center can be used. It can either be myself or any other instructor that's out there that you can get the code from, assuming you've done completion of the software secure practice test, as well as enrollment either into Mymathlab or MyStatLab. Thanks again. Have a good day.